Good evening today. So the past few days I've been saying good morning, but today I'm saying good evening. So yes, I'm a little bit later today than I have been before. It's been a bit of a busy day. It's been a businessy, organisy day. So how have we been getting on with our other tips? We had our clean out the fridge and sort out our food. We had our drink more water. We had give ourselves more time. What else did we have? Movement, that was the other one. And today we're talking sleep. It's just a few minutes on sleep. Sleep is so underrated for our health and our wellness. We all think we can get by on shorter amounts, and actually we just can't. And there's a real science behind it, and I'm going to go through a few bits and pieces to help you with that today. So I think if you can kind of understand a little bit of actually the things that happen when you're asleep and the things that aren't so good if you don't have enough sleep, then it can actually help to put it into perspective. This time of year, so January, we've had the festive season, and the likelihood is you stayed up much later than normal, and it can be tricky to get back into that normal sleep pattern, that normal time thing. I know I'm struggling with it at the moment. I went to bed at 10 o'clock last night, thought yes, gonna get more sleep. Brain started working, so I then got back up at 11 and I eventually got to sleep at 12:30, but it was half an hour earlier than the night before, so it can just take a bit of time. So give yourself a bit of time to get back into that sleep habit. You can't suddenly switch back. It's like when you fly, isn't it, and you've got a bit of jet lag. You can't suddenly just switch time zones. So life these days is just so fast. I mean, when we were all working in the fields and all that kind of thing, so lots of people still are, but when most of us were, or we didn't have electricity, we got up when the sun got up and we went to bed when the sun went down. We didn't have lights. Then there was the invention of candles and electricity and blah, 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 blah. But our bodies were much more in tune with light, because that's what we did. We went to bed when it got dark, whereas now we're trying to constantly outdo daylight, nighttime, that sort of thing. And life is really fast that, we really do try and survive on less sleep than what our bodies and our minds actually need. With so much technology around, we're constantly being stimulated by things. It's not just you read a book, you've got the TV going on, you might have your computer on, you might be answering emails, you might be looking at social media. Every part of that is a stimulus for your brain, and it's built. And basically when you sleep, that's when your body and your brain rests and recovers. And if it can't do that, it just gets into a mess. Trust me, I know, I've been there. So why do we need sleep? Well, as I said, our body and our minds recover during sleep time. So our internal organs relax and recover. Our digestion continues. So although your digestion might be working after you've eaten, it continues to work when you're asleep. You don't know it, but it is. There's a whole mega amounts of factories going on in here, biological factories, that need to happen, and they need you to be asleep for them to happen. Your tissues repair, your muscles grow, you've got certain hormones that are released, and especially for women this is vitally important, but men are the same. We all have these hormones that are released when we sleep. And if you think about what hormones do, they affect your stress levels, they affect your metabolism, they affect your appetite. So if you're not giving your body or your brain the space and the time to get those hormones out to do their job, you can see why you might overeat or that sort of thing, And if your metabolism's not working as well, we know what happens then, don't we? The other thing is with your brains, things like the memories. Your brain is constantly, I'm sure you all know this, everything you see becomes a memory. And when you're asleep, these memories are consolidated. So you can remember them, for one, but also when you go through new experiences, these are stored at night time, and you need these new memories, you need these new experiences to be stored so that you can keep going. You've got to keep that brain active, don't you? But to keep the brain active, you've got to let it rest, and you've got to do that by sleeping. So if we sleep well, now different people need different amounts of sleep. Yeah, I know some certain famous people need 4 hours a night, whatever, maybe. Most of us need between sort of 7 to 9 hours. I tend to be a bit of an 8-hour person. Other people need lots more sleep. Work out what works for you. I know if I don't get 8 hours, I'm a bit of a grumpy mare, and that's science. It's not just I'm being a pain in the arse. It's science, you know. So, when we do sleep well, we have more energy, which can help us make better lifestyle choices. So if you think how tired when you get tired, a little sciencey bit is that your cortisol levels rise. Now, your cortisol is your fight and flight hormone. That makes you crave sugary foods because you need sugary things. We talk about this in my programs all the time. When your cortisol rises, you crave sugary foods because your cortisol is telling you there's a panic, there's a fight or flight situation, and your body needs the most energy it can get. So if your cortisol is rising because you're not getting enough sleep, you're going to be making not so good food choices the next day because it's in this kind of state of panic. So we also are going to have a stronger immune system because we're letting our bodies recover. Okay, now your immune system is amazing, it's absolutely amazing, but it needs you to help it. Okay, so if you are constantly burning the candle at both ends, your immune system's giving it, oh my God, I really need you to chill out. I really need you to just go and shut your eyes for a bit so that we can do our job. So you will be stronger. You will not get sick as much. You will have a better mood because the right hormones have been released and the not so good ones aren't released as much. You will be more alert. You will be more focused in your day. You know, it is kind of important. It really is. And so, I mean, if we don't have enough sleep, we're likely to gain weight. And not just because we're making bad choices, because our cortisol levels went up and we're tired, so we want sugary things to keep us going, but also the hormone leptin, which is basically the hormone that tells you when you're full, that is reduced if you don't have enough sleep. So that one gets released at night time when you're sleeping, and if you don't sleep enough, not enough of it gets released, so you don't know when you're full, so you will eat more. You have more chance of gaining weight. I'm sorry, but it is true. As I said before, your immune system might be compromised because it's not resting and recovering, so you've got a higher risk of illness. You've actually got a higher risk of injury. Now, you might laugh, but think about it. If you're tired, you're clumsy, aren't you? You fall over stuff, you drop things. You have a higher risk of injury. And you might just be a wee bitty emotional, aren't you? We know that if we're tired, we can get a little bit stroppy side. It's science, we need the sleep. So, what can we do? We can keep as much of a routine as possible. Okay, so we try and go to the same bed. Yeah, try and go to the same bed. I shouldn't say that. Try and go to bed at the same time and get up at the same time. I know weekends are a bit different, but if you can, try and keep it like that. Get the devices off a couple of hours before bedtime. So the blue lights that you get and you're going, I've got these goggles, whatever, it's not necessarily just the light, it's the stimulus. So get the laptops off, get social media off, get the phones off, get all of that off an hour, if not 2, before you go to bed. Let your brain relax. Try not to have your phone next to your bed. I know that, some people will have it charging next to the bed, or they'll use it as a Kindle or something. Do your best to not have it next to your head. That's a different thing, but just trust me on that one. Make sure you regularly exercise. I know that's a bit weird. You're going to go, well, how can exercise affect my sleep? It does. It really does. So regular exercise is going to help. Try not to go to bed on a full stomach or an empty stomach. An empty stomach will wake you up because your body's hungry, and a full stomach because obviously you're too full, you might need to go to the loo, that sort of thing. Make sure you've got some nice bedding. My favourite night is clean sheet night. We always call it in here, it's clean sheet night. Doesn't it feel so lovely getting into a clean bed? Honestly, if I had loads and loads of money, I would have clean sheets every day. Get yourself a routine. If you've got children, you will know that your babies. You put your babies and your toddlers and your children through a sleep routine. You turned the TV off. They had a nice warm bath. They had a little chill. They had a story. They had a bit of a chat. You know, you turned the lights down. You did not do it for yourself. Okay, so think about a nighttime routine. And one final thing, and then I'm going to let you go. If you're the type of person that has a lot on your mind, get a notepad next to your bed with a pen, and before you go to bed, write down. It doesn't have to be sentences. Brain dump. Bit of a rude word. It's not rude, it's just weird, isn't it? Just get all that stuff out on a piece of paper. I did last night. Right, I'll show you. So I couldn't sleep last night. My sleep's been all over the place. I'm working on it. But I got up and I wrote last night 2 pages. So I got my pencil and I just wrote down stuff. But it cleared it out of my head. Another thing that's really nice to do is at night time is write down a few gratitudes. Gratitude is a really lovely thing, and people are starting to talk about it a little bit more. Write down 3 or 5 or 10 gratitudes every night before you go to bed. Things that you're grateful for. You're grateful for being alive. You're grateful for having electricity. You're grateful for your family. You're grateful for your health. You're grateful for a butterfly phone case because you like butterflies. You know, put it down there. The more good stuff you put out into the universe, the more it's going to come back. Anyhow, that's another story. So, sleep, massively underrated. Have a little listen. Well, you obviously have a little listen. Have a think about your own sleep patterns, your own sleep hygiene. I always think it's weird when people say sleep hygiene. I'm not quite sure I like it. I don't know. Think about it. Anyway, put a comment below, share it, subscribe, do whatever you want, and let me know. Talk to me about your sleep. If you've got any problems with your sleep, message me. I can help you with that. Okay, I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to talk stress. Okay? Alright, have a great evening. I always forget how to switch this off on YouTube. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye!